there live. All right, let's get it started. So this year, the MVP race, I think it's down to Joe Embiid, Jokic, DeMar DeRozan, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. But lately, people been saying LeBron to be the favorite to win the MVP, even though his Lakers team had won the worst records in the league. I think the reason why people are saying that right now because what the Lakers are doing, I mean, look, what LeBron is doing right now when it comes to points, rebounds, and assists. They feel since he's one of the top three players in the scoring title race, he should be the favorite to win the MVP, even though his team does have the worst record in the NBA right now. Which I believe he don't need to be talked about as an MVP candidate right now. What you need to worry about is trying to get your team back in, get out the playing game on race right now. Why you don't talk LeBron as the MVP when your team is in what 10th place, having trouble beating these lower level teams, haven't really had trouble beating the over 500 teams. So talking like LeBron, like he's the MVP candidate, like he's still winning the MVP, to me is a joke right now. The focus should be with the Los Angeles Lakers is trying to get trying to win the remainder of their games right now and trying to get out the 10th spot in the playoff race. But leave it to LeBron James dedicated fans, they feel like he's the best, he's playing his best basketball in his 19th season. That he's a he's basically the catalyst of what the Lakers can do. They putting all the blame on Russell Westbrook. Westbrook is the reason why the Lakers are playing so bad. It's the reason why the Lakers are in the spot that they are right now. They ain't putting none of the blame on LeBron, who cares more about his stats than he does about trying to win games. Because he's nonchalant. He comes on every night talking about, I did my job. I don't know about them. It's kind of the attitude he got right now. But does any of that matter? No, it don't matter. So, matter of fact, let's look at the Lakers record right now. Okay, the Lakers are hold on, people. I'm trying to see the Lakers record. I'm still here, people. All right, the Lakers are 31-41. They got a game Wednesday night against the Philadelphia 76ers. A game, well, who knows if James Harden Joe and B gonna play. But if they don't play, the Lakers should be able to win that game without Embiid and Harden on the floor. But it's a home game for the Lakers, a game where the Lakers has not looked great at home, but leave it to LeBron. He's gonna go out there and probably try to see if he can put up for 38 to 40 points because it's all about him and about his other teammates. They freeze Carmelo Anthony out. If Westbrook don't play, because they get on Westbrook. If you don't play the level that they think he should be playing, at this point, what the Lakers do? Now lately, the Lakers have been doing something right. They changed up the way they play their lineup, playing the young guys more minutes than the older guys, what they should have been doing from the get go. But people still don't think Frank Vogel don't know what he's doing. Now, thing you got to ask as a Lakers fan, the Lakers season probably is over and done with. Should you trade LeBron to help the team help the team, or to you let him play another season with the Lakers so you can see him break an all time scoring title? That's the thing you got to ask. What's good, hit man? Let me put this thing in the chat and see if I want to come in or not. If y'all just come in here and hit that like button, hit that share button. Well, share my live stream so we can get some more people up in here. Hit that to probably get the notification because I'm trying to really think about see where y'all come from tonight because everybody thinking LeBron to be a candidate for MVP right now because of the points he's putting up. What's up, hit man?
What's good, Lou? Ain't shit, man.
You
Just
think
not getting to work. What's the move, man? What's the play, man? What you talking about today, man?
lately people saying LeBron to be the favorite to win the MVP right now?
MVP favorite?
Yeah, for this year.
Nah. I mean, he's in consideration though. I mean, if you look at that, if you're looking at the metrics, you just basing it off the metrics. He's in consideration. I mean, him, Jokic and Embiid. I think they got the highest value over replacement, if I'm not mistaken. They up there in the value. You got to. That's what they base it off of. It's unfortunate, but if we're gonna use value over replacement for like all time greats like John Stockton, I hear a lot of people using that stat for John Stockton. But when it comes to LeBron, if that's the case, you keep that same energy. That means LeBron James is playing at an all time level at this point in his career. You can't criticize him. So, I mean, I'm not mad at it. I still believe other
I'm like this
guys.
though. I'm like this though. How many seasons did you see John Stockton put up great numbers, but never got a chance, never was a candidate for MVP? Like I feel like they did John Stockton wrong all those years
He
because
had a he had a guy that was better than him damn near every year when he was putting up
He,
all them great numbers.
but he's the main reason why that guy was better than him every year because he was the one passing the ball to him so he can get those numbers. Look how they do
Yeah,
Chris Paul.
yeah.
Look,
All he was doing was drop off passes to Karl Malone down in a block and getting assists. Yeah, that's great basketball being played, Luther Ryder. That's great basketball. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you just drop it off to Karl Malone, let him do all my dirty work. And you was about to say Chris Paul. What was you about to say about Chris Paul? Because he got a lot of talent over there too. And Chris
Chris
Paul is
Paul,
up there with.
Chris
Chris Paul
Paul
is up. Now you got
to
it.
me, Chris Paul already had two MVPs in his career. Because how many times he not only did he lead the team to the playoffs, he led them to conference finals. He led them to his first NBA finals of his career. He's done a lot of things for teams to help their organization out. Like the year, I know they got put out first round, but what he did for Oklahoma City that year, he should have got MVP.
That is true. That's why I put Chris Paul over John Stockton because he did a lot more with less. That's one thing we got to give Chris Paul, man. He's done a lot more with less.
This is the
You give
problem.
Chris
This is
Paul
the
the
problem.
talent he had over. You give Chris Paul the talent that John Stockton had over there in Utah. You think they losing to Michael Jordan and Chicago Bulls? I don't think so.
I don't know, man, because Jordan, Jordan, when he's one of the most competitive athletes ever. And when it comes
Man,
to
stop it, Lou. Stop it, Lou. Stop it, man. You just want to cap, man. You know damn
I
well
ain't capping, man.
if Chris Paul,
You
you know
tell
damn
so
well if Chris Paul was on that team and they're not losing to the Chicago Bulls. Chris Paul could do
so
way
so
more
you
off.
telling me so you telling me Ron Harper would not shut down Chris Paul that game?
No, he would not
'Cause
have shut down Chris Paul. No, no, he would not have shut down Chris Paul. No, I'm sorry.
Ron Harper was one of the best defenders around that time.
That is true. And he would have gave Chris Paul problems, but
And put
you're not shutting down a great player like that.
that whole Bull team was one of the best defensive team at that time. And you telling me Jordan wouldn't went out there put up 45 to 50 points in a crucial game like that? He cause remember he play out
It
in the
wouldn't have
playoffs.
mattered. It wouldn't have mattered, Luke, because you still gotta worry about Chris Paul and Karl Malone alone on the other side of the court, man. And a lot of people sleep on Chris Paul defensively, man. He's not a slouch defensively. If we're talking about prime Chris Paul, even if we're talking about this Chris Paul, I feel like this version of Chris Paul is a lot better than him in his prime in New Orleans. He's a lot more under control. He can dictate the tempo of the game, the floor of the game better. He's more mature. Like you're talking about somebody who's getting better with age, better with time. Yeah, I mean, like we still probably haven't seen the best version of Chris Paul yet, right? The jury's still open for him to get a championship. John Stockton hasn't gotten that. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't. He wasn't the difference maker for the Utah Jazz. He never has been a difference maker for the Utah Jazz. He's a great sidekick, but not an MVP caliber player, man. I'm sorry. Barely a top 10 player in the '90s. If we're gonna be honest, he's barely a top 10 player in the '90s.
So you telling me the all-time leader in steals and assists
Yep,
is not a top
yep,
player in the night?
yep. Because there's a lot of guys that put up great numbers in that Utah system, man. Yep, I'm saying that. That was a point guard they had before John Stockton. I forgot the dude's name because I was doing my research on the Utah Jazz. They had a point guard that was putting up damn near the same numbers as John Stockton the year before he came. You know what I mean, and he got to the All Star game.
Talking about
And people like to forget. You said who?
Darrell Griffin.
Nah, it wasn't Derek Griffin. It was a point guard. I forgot the point guard name they had over there, man. Nigga was averaging down at 20 and 10, man. He wasn't even a passer like that, man. He never put them numbers up outside of that offense ever again. But in that offense, he sure did. Just like with Darian Williams. A lot of people forget about Darian Williams. Darian Williams was a top two, top three point guard at the time in Utah. He left Utah, never became the same point guard. It's that system, man. Let's tell the truth, Shane the Devil, man. That system magnifies the point guard.
Yeah, Jerry Sloan was a great coach.
He was, man. He's probably a top five coach of all time, man. We're gonna tell the truth. Isn't he top five in win shares or whatever, wins or whatever?
I
I
have
know he
no
got to
idea
be up
right
there,
now.
man.
He should, He should have had one, at least one NBA title, but things happen.
Man, he should still be coaching right now, man. He should have still been coaching if Darren Williams didn't run him off, man. I never really liked Utah, but I didn't like that move, man. I wish they would have been able to
It's
keep
hard.
Jerry Sloan,
Well,
man.
well, his man,
Jerry
he
Sloan was a
passed
go.
away. He passed away, so
Ah, yeah, you're right. You did. R.I.P. to Jerry Sloan. But he was still coaching at a high level before he just abruptly retired. Remember, he just
Darren,
retired out of
like
nowhere.
Darren Williams, thought at that time he's one of the elite players in the NBA. He's because he got that mentality. Like you players do today, they don't need to listen to a coach; they can do it themselves.
Yep. That's the thing, Lou, that I don't like about a lot of these players. Like when Kyrie said we don't need a coach. I don't like that, bro. Because to me, that sends a bad message to the rest of the locker room. Your best player is saying that nobody else is going to listen to the coach, and you need to buy into your coach's system in order to win. Look at Jordan and Kobe. They had to buy into the triangle in order to win championships. You know what I mean? Outside of that,
See what
nobody
I'm saying?
like
See, that's what I'm saying right there, Hitman. I believe Phil Jackson would have came up with a great game plan to beat Chris Paul and Karl Malone because he was a good. Even though they saying he only won because he had talent, he was a good coach.
no,
He
he,
did
he
come
was
up
a good
with.
coach. He was a good coach, Lou. But I could say the same. I mean, this is all hypotheticals. You know what I mean? I could say, oh, well,
That's
Chris
why. That's
Paul
why
would
I
have
like
found
about
a way
this.
to beat them. You know what I mean?
That's why I like about this team right now. Chris Paul and y'all head coach work together to keep the team playing as a team, not as individuals right now.
Right, right.
They
And
play like
remember what I said, Lou. We bought into the system. When you buy into the system, you reap the benefits. Right? That's what I remember. That's what I was meaning. And when I said that, that's what I mean, bro. Everybody buy into Monty Williams' system, and you got to know
and
your role as
the
well.
problem and the problem with the Lakers is LeBron James want to run the team his way. He don't want to run Frank, the way Frank Vogel want to run. Frank Vogel is
Yeah.
the defensive minded coach. LeBron James just want to do his things his way. And when we tell people that we labels as haters, like we don't know what the fuck we talking about.
But Lou, you got to understand though. So many people are talking about LeBron James, whether it's good or bad. It's more bad right now than good. That when people hear you bringing criticism, they're going to automatically label you as a hater because of all the people that's coming down hating on him. So that's probably just a domino effect from all the hate that he gets. I can't say it's justified or not justified. It is what it is. But I try to stay away from the LeBron James shit, man. I saw because at the end of the day, I feel like his career is set in stone. It can't go down from here. He playing with house money, so he just need to go ahead and ride off to the sunset and break however many records he can break. He's a four-time champion. At the end of the day, you can't take that away from him. You know what I mean?
Now they talking about LeBron James getting traded to Philadelphia next year. I'm like,
For who though? I guess Tobias Harris and some first-round picks, and that'd be crazy if he went to Philadelphia though,
so
man.
so you gonna run back to the East and try to form another super team. So so what? Because because I think Philadelphia better without James Harden right now. Because if you saw last night, Maxey seems like a up and coming young guard.
Yeah, Maxi next up, man. I've been telling niggas about Maxi, man. I don't think they better without James Harden, though. Because they're not winning a 7-game series with just Maxi and all those other guys, man.
Come
I
on
don't
here,
think
man.
James Harden take away from their game.
Do you
James
trust
Harden don't
James
take away.
Harden in the playoffs?
No, no. But if James Harden show up, it's hard. You'd be hard pressed to find too many
Because
teams that's better.
you seen what Brooklyn did to Philadelphia when they had their 14.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, look,
most
look, Lou,
most they
you look.
14.
Lou, you're not talking to somebody who's thinking that James Harden gonna come out here and cook these niggas, man. I have a feeling. I ain't gonna say I know because we gotta wait and see. I have a feeling James Harden gonna fall apart in the playoffs. But if he shows up, we don't know if he's gonna show up or not. If he shows up and plays the way he's supposed to, there's not too many teams better than the Philadelphia Sixers in the East. That's just a fact, man.
I'm at a point right now where I would have James Harden. if Maxey is out playing James Harden right now, I would have James Harden come off the bench for like 25 to 28 minutes.
Nah, Lou, you don't like James Harden, do you? That nigga said bring him
No,
off the
no,
bench.
I think sometimes James Harden be feel. I think sometimes James Harden be feel. I think sometimes James Harden be feeling the pressure and perform. He puts up unnecessary shots, and when he ain't getting his foul calls, that's when he start basically his emotions get the best of him.
Yeah, that is true. But hold on, Devin Booker do the same shit though. You ain't gonna say bench Devin Booker for Landry Shamet. Landry Shamet out here coming up big in the clutch, putting up big numbers in the clutch. You ain't gonna say, oh, Devin Booker cried too much about fouls. We're gonna bench him and put in Landry Shamet. So why would you say that for James Harden, the best shooting
Cause
guard in the league right now?
I seen Devin Booker actually show up in crucial playoff games. I seen Devin Booker knock down a couple 3-point shots when they needed it.
Yeah, but he hasn't done it on a macro aspect. He hasn't done it. He's only done it for one season. Now, a lot of people feel like that's a fluke. He has to come out here and do it again. Yeah, I mean, he has to. Right now, you're building your resume. Yeah, I mean, you're building up your accolades and your resume for your legacy. So yeah, okay, last season was good, but do it again next year. Do it again this year, and you got to
And
keep doing it
plus
to
you
build a
got to think about
reputation.
this: how's Devin Booker gonna be when Chris Paul retires? Because he's gonna still be playing after Chris Paul retires. It's a
Yeah,
possibility. It's a possibility when Monty Williams retires, Chris Paul may take over his team as the head coach.
but how long is it gonna? I don't know. I don't know because I think Monty Williams gonna coach for a long time, man. How long is Chris Paul going to be willing to wait for Monty to retire, though? That's the question. I think Monty Williams got a good 15, 20 years in him.
And I keep on telling people Chris Paul is gonna be one of the best head coaches when he becomes one.
He is, though. You don't you one of the first people I heard call that, man. I hope he is like an assistant coach for us or an advisor or something like that. He stayed with the franchise and just ride it out until Monty Williams steps down or whatever, or he moves up in it. Let's say he becomes the GM or the vice president of basketball operations, and we can make Chris Paul the head coach. That'd be live. I ain't gonna lie because I trust Chris Paul
I
basketball
think I
acumen.
think I think this may will happen. He may go back to home in Charlotte to be the head coach for the start of Hornets, where it all started out for him. If not,
Mm-hmm.
then you got the
Or New
Clippers.
Orleans. New Orleans.
Yeah,
Yeah, you go back to New
but
Orleans.
Chris Paul gonna want to be a head coach for owner and the GM who's gonna actually help build the team around him.
Yeah, I can see him being an owner, like a partial owner, before I see him being a coach. Because a lot of these players, they're trying to be like owners now. They're not trying to be, you know, have a job. They want to own. Like you look at guys like LeBron and CP3, they're looking for like top positions and shit like that. So I mean, I hope he's a head coach for the Suns or Charlotte or something like that. Because I like his
Well,
basketball mind.
he may work under LeBron as a head coach because if LeBron end up becoming an NBA owner, he may ask Chris Paul to be his head coach.
Yeah, that's a possibility. You want to know somebody else who could be a good coach? Yeah, a lot of people like to shit on Draymond Green. I think Draymond Green would be a great head coach too, man.
No, Draymond Green is going to be working for TNT. His
Yeah,
after
that's the yeah. That's where he's headed towards. But I hope he steps
he
down
already
away from
signed that
that.
con. He already signed the contract for them after his career is over with. He going to be working for them.
Yeah, but I mean he can still play that contract out and then come back to the NBA like Steve Kerr did and become a head coach. He a better coach than Steve Kerr. I think he'd be a better coach than Steve Kerr, man. He knows basketball more than Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr's a jackass dumbass. Look what he did to the Phoenix Suns. Nigga destroyed, dismantled that whole fucking franchise. He traded Sean Marion for motherfucking Amari Stoudemire. Traded Rajah Bell and Boris Diaw for Jason Richardson. All to say, oh, we're going to slow the game down and play a traditional style of basketball, and we never were the same after that. We got to the Western Conference Finals. Yeah, true. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, That's because we had to go back to our old style of play, playing fast. Then after that, no playoffs, nothing. You know what I mean? And we was in the hole. All because of Steve Kerr dumbass. Then he steps down and eventually goes to the Golden State Warriors and steals and hijack our whole offense and our swag and brings to the Golden State. Now all of a sudden Golden State, that's their style of play, not our style of play, right? Come on, man.
I
Steve
still
Kerr,
keep on
Steve
saying,
Kerr is a beneficiary.
I still keep on saying, if he went to the New York Knicks, he would not be a head coach today.
I was just about to say that, Lou. I swear I was just about to say that. There's a reason he didn't go to New York, man. Because he couldn't. He knew he couldn't pull that bullshit. He ain't had the personnel to run the style of offense he wanted to run, man. Simple and plain. And if he ain't had Draymond Green over there, they wouldn't be a top defense either. Because Draymond Green literally coaches that defense. He's literally the defensive coach. You know how NFL has offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators? Draymond Green is a defensive coordinator on that team. He's the closest thing to a player coach we got in the NBA. That's a fact. And I look at Chris Paul like an offensive version of Draymond Green. Chris Paul, like a lot of things Chris Paul does out there. Monty Williams says, you know what? I just let Chris Paul do his thing. Like we consult with each other. You know, we go over things, but I trust his mind and his decision making out there. So a lot of times he goes away from our sets. He sees something on the court, and I allow him to do that. That's a report that it goes under the radar. A lot of people sweep that shit under the rug, but I think that's what Steve Kerr does with Draymond on the defensive end. If you see how he communicates shit and organizes that defense and switches and all that, that's the most key component to having an elite defense is being able to switch and having a quarterback on that defense.
Yeah. But Mike Brown also is a good defensive minded coach too. He kind of does help with that defense.
Is he still over there?
Yeah. He don't
Yeah,
get
Mike
like
Brown is underrated.
Mike Brown don't get the credit that he rightly deserves, man. Like
Yeah,
I feel Mike Brown should have got that. Mike Brown should have been at. He was the candidate for the head coaching job in Portland, all in New Orleans, all over other places.
yeah. Oh, I thought he was. I thought Mike Brown was coaching the Nigerian team, man. I thought he was trying to get a head coaching job somewhere else. Because remember, he was coaching Nigeria when they beat USA.
Yeah, but he should like if Mike Brown. I say if Mike Brown went to well, I wouldn't say Memphis because Memphis is okay.
New York, because Tom Thibodeau is a fraud of a coach. Nobody respects him as a defensive mind. Nobody really respects Tom Thibodeau as a head coach. You should have had Mike Brown over there instead of Tom Thibodeau.
Well, they bring back Typical for another season. So,
Yeah, I
but
heard.
he ain't.
Yeah, I heard about that. Man.
But yeah, but I'm glad we got Kenny Payne out there.
Who you talking about? You talking about for the Bulls?
Now, Louisville hired Kenny Payne,
Kenny
the
Payne.
assistant, the assistant coach for New York Knicks. They hired him to be the head coach of the University of Louisville.
Oh, you said Louisville hired him. Who y'all got? Who
Yeah,
y'all got coming
I
up?
was
Who
Mike
y'all got
Brown.
coming out the draft? Lou. Who y'all got coming out the draft? I ain't really seen too many prospects coming out of Louisville.
Nobody this year.
Y'all in the tournament?
Nope.
Mm.
13. It was we had a 13 19 record this year, man. We was terrible this year.
Yeah. Y'all was terrible, man. That's not normal, man. For Louisville to be bad like that, man. That's not normal.
Shoot, you telling me that's the reason why we
Damn,
hired a
bro.
new head coach.
So Rick Pitino out of there.
He been gone for the last 4 years.
Mm.
He's at
Yeah, you gotta
Iona
get it.
right now.
You got. You see Ariana.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, y'all gotta get a new face over there, man. It's too.
Basically, Kenny Payne. Basically, Kenny Payne. He's the guy who coached Anthony Davis, um, Devin Booker. So all those UK players who are NBA superstars now, um, Kenny Payne basically coached those boys up.
he coached them or he scouted them because
He
the
recruited
Kentucky
them.
coach. Yeah, okay, yeah, he
He
recruited them. Yeah, that's that's
he
that's that's
recruited
that's that's,
them.
that's yeah, yeah.
You,
That's a good
you
move then. If y'all got basically their scout from Kentucky because they had a deep ass roster, man. A lot of people sleep on that team, the Kentucky team, man. They had like what 5 or 6 players go first round or some shit like that, man.
okay? Here's the point,
NBA
man.
record.
On Twitter, Carl Anthony Towns, Devin Booker, um, Anthony Davis, all those UK players was was happy that Kenny Payne got the head coaching job at Louisville, and they said they may come down here to work out with Louisville during the off season.
Mm. Yeah, that's a good move, man. I ain't mad at that, man. I need
You
some
even
type of life, man.
you even had Magic Johnson saying congratulations to Kenny Payne.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at some more Louisville games, man. I've been really looking at other teams like Purdue and Auburn and shit like that. Who you got coming out of number one overall pick out of the draft, man? Who's your best player coming out this draft?
That's hard to say right now, man, because
Oh, all right,
uh,
better question. Who's the sleeper in this draft? Who you feel like the sleeper pick in this draft?
man, I just got some bad news on ESPN. Kyrie playing, but Memphis won't have that guard for the game. He gonna be out with knee injury Wednesday.
Oh yeah, he's still dealing with that injury. That's not bad news, man. How's that bad news?
I want to see the Kyrie versus him. I want to see that matchup, Kyrie versus him.
Yeah, Kyrie versus Ja, yeah. Memphis still might go out there and dog walk their ass. So a lot of people sleep on Memphis team, man. They still got Tyus Jones. Tyus Jones been leading the league in assist to turnover ratio for the last couple seasons now. You know what I mean, so that's gonna be a good matchup still. And he a free agent coming up this year too. So there's gonna be a lot of teams knocking down his door to try to pick him up.
What's up, Sal?
What's
What's
good,
going
Sal?
on? Y'all got? Am I echoing? I don't know why when I come on this thing try to echo.
Yeah, a little bit.
What y'all guys talking about? It looked like LeBron James was the topic, but I don't know if y'all moved from that.
Yeah,
Should
we moved from
LeBron
that
James
nigga,
should
man.
LeBron James win the MVP this year?
Nah, hell no.
Well, people thinking that some people think he should win the MVP because of what he's doing this year.
He ain't win no MVP. People people gotta be objective about it. I mean, LeBron is definitely playing phenomenal at this point in his career, but the whole, you know, MVP has a storyline that's connected to what your team's doing too. Their team is not faring that well. So actually, it wouldn't be right for him to win MVP. Going off what the MVP has been what's pretty much been the narrative around getting MVPs, he would pretty much conflict with that, and it wouldn't be right. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Nah, that's a fact,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. It's one thing to like the player. I'm one of the guys that like LeBron, but nah, he ain't in the MVP race. Now with the state of the Lakers and the situation they got going on.
It's sad, ain't it, man? It's sad what they going through right now. They really
I'm
out here
not.
celebrating beating the Cavs, man.
Yeah, I mean,
but they're mainly
uh,
doing this. But they mainly keep doing this. But they're blaming everything on Westbrook. Like it can't be just Westbrook being blamed. It should be the whole team.
yeah, they got a mess. They been ran like my Cowboys were in the past. We getting better, but this how we were for a while. Like it's just a mess. I think it's and I mean, really the fact of LeBron going there. If LeBron wouldn't have went there, I think Lakers be in a way worse position they are now
Let
because
me
they
ask
wouldn't
you
be.
this, Sal.
Go ahead.
Do you want LeBron back for another year so he can break the record, or you rather see him go somewhere else?
I mean, you got to think about it like this: whether somebody like or hate LeBron, why wouldn't you want this player to break their record there? He's already a player that puts butts in the seats, and he raises ticket price, which raises your revenue up. So whether you like him or hate him, it's good for business to have LeBron on your team. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So if you're a businessman, it would make sense if he's on your team, he's gonna raise your ticket prices up, and then you know it's gonna when he get close to breaking that record, if he does, which we assume he will, right? Hopefully, don't nothing or anything crazy happen. But imagine what the ticket price is gonna be, and you would hope that they actually do it in in your arena, right?
yeah. I'm just saying, like he already he's second place. He's second place now. They said next year he could be able to break the record. But I'm thinking
Yeah.
about what do you want the Lakers look like for the next 5 to 10 years? Is
Um,
more
that's already compromised. It's already compromised. And the thing about it is, what's weird to me is what's been more important: winning, winning chips. Because as far as I know, Lakers have never been have foregone winning chips to see what the future will hold. If you get what I'm saying, that's never been the Lakers' mantra. That's not even part of their history. So to for fans to presumably say that's what it should be now, it goes against what we known the Lakers to be through history. You know what I mean? Can it change? Can they change? Okay, that's great, but
y'all
don't
gave
make
this
a.
fool $4.7 million. Man, get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry about that, South. My Yankee did some damn a dumbass shit again.
Ain't no salary cap in baseball. Why you whining about them giving up money?
No, the Yankees didn't make no good moves during the offseason, and I'm pissed about that.
But no, like I mean, a lot of the fans don't make sense to me. The Lakers have always been about win now over what may happen in the future, next 3 to 5 years, or you know what I'm saying. Can you remember a time that maybe people might say the argument was when they split Kobe and Shaq? Yeah, you can kind of say that, but where else can you go and say that throughout the rest of the Lakers' career? I mean, throughout the Lakers' history, right? Where else can you say that?
To
You
that
can't.
when they was drafting Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball, and we're about winning championships at
Okay,
that time.
no. I'm saying no. You didn't get what I was talking about. I'm saying when did they? I'm saying when they. I started out the 2005 going into 2004 2005. It was they were coming out of competing, presumably competing for championships, and the expectations were to having to make a decision between two superstars. And I was trying to parallel it with possibly what could happen now. Them having, you know, two superstars, one older, one younger, and can't stay healthy. And then we know Westbrook, declining. I was trying to make a parallel. That's more of a parallel if you agree with me. You get what I'm saying? To where the
I know, I see what
expectations
you're saying.
are, and now they got to
Yeah,
decide should they step moving forward should be rebuilding or trying to piece this and see if they can make another run.
yeah, but that's a tough decision to make, though. I mean, especially like, well, not right now so much for the Lakers now because they losing. So I don't feel like that's that tough of a decision because they could go with the whole argument that, oh well, this guy was hurt, or that guy was hurt. That's the reason why we're losing. So we should just run it back. But I mean, like a lot of teams, like especially coming off a championship run or a team or a championship period, a lot of teams make big moves anyway. So no team really stays stays pat or stays the same going into the next season. So they're going to have to make some drastic moves coming up, irregardless if it's moving AD or moving Russ. They're going to have to make some drastic moves.
You know what I think is more damning for the Lakers is the fact that if they're gonna pump the propaganda, some of it's propaganda, some of it do have plausibility to it. But if they're gonna pump that out and make it look like LeBron made a lot of these moves that's failing, even if it was 1,000,000% true, it's still bad for you, the organization, to project a player dictating some of the miscomings of the franchise. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah, that's a fact.
And
That's
that
definitely a
looks
fact.
stupid moving forward because even if it's 1,000,000% true, once you decide to move off of some of the guys like LeBron, well, let's say once he leave, if he does leave, right, and other guys get traded or whatever happens, what do you do moving forward as with the Lake organization? Like who want to come there and play as assembled? Everybody's assuming since they're the Lakers, people want to go, but they're not taking into consideration what's going on in front office.
Well, I mean, right now they got to save face. They got to look forward towards that. They got to save face. And they got to stop. Yeah, they got to stop catering to LeBron James and make moves towards their franchise. The more they sell out for LeBron James and and, and and do all this other shit for LeBron, the worse they're going to look moving forward for another franchise player coming there. I don't think trading LeBron James is the answer because that's when you start playing with that. Oh well, shit, this is a bad look for the organization trading away one of the greatest players of all time. But as long as you let him play his contract out and you just stand on your square, I think a lot of
See,
players come to LA. It's still LA. I mean, a lot of people are going to come to LA moving forward. It's a reason why they won 18 championships. It's because it's LA. So they're going to go there. The weather's great. You know, they got Hollywood out there and all that. Like they're going to go to LA.
I ain't gonna say nobody's gonna go to LA, but with this front office is gonna be interesting. And this is where I think they really messed up because they kind of like they done things for LeBron, then didn't do things for LeBron, and then okay, yeah, we get it, but you can't blame the player because see, this is the thing. I'm not even trying to protect LeBron and nothing like that. This doesn't work out for you as a. Let's say I'm a Laker fan or I'm a part of Laker organization. Short term, I might make LeBron look bad, but long term, this is not good. You can even go back to the Bulls at the end, even though they won, all the stuff they done, all the stuff they tried to do that either did or didn't happen, that Jordan didn't like. Long term, it looks bad on the organization. So right now, people might be like, they might agree. Like a lot of this stuff you love LeBron is panned out, which it has is valid, right? Some of it's valid. But long term, it don't look good if you go and point and say, well, this player had a lot of my things. You know what I'm saying? Well, you the final word. You know,
Yeah.
the owner being the front office. The front office is the final word. So
I
you
mean,
can't
I
turn
think
around and say, well, this stuff will work.
I think the biggest indictment on the Lakers is not the fact they're giving the players power. Because I mean, if you look at teams like the Clippers, they give Kawhi a lot of power. I mean, the Suns give Devin Booker a lot of power. That's normal for star player to get that. I think the biggest indictment for them is the fan treatment of Russell Westbrook. A lot of players are seeing how Russell Westbrook's getting treated,
Yeah,
and it's either or. Either you hate him or you love him. And I think the ones that love Russell Westbrook is looking at the fans and how they call him Westbrook, and just because he's having a bad stretch of games, and they're saying, why would I want to go play for a fan base like that? If I have a bad stretch of games, they're gonna kill me. You know what I mean? So I'd rather go to another team.
Be honest with you guys. Two guys to be on the Lakers right now is Buddy Hill and Buddy Hill should have been like a DeMar DeRozan should be a Laker right now. Cause y'all had
Buddy Hill would not move the needle for the Lakers, man.
he
Y'all
may
stop
not,
stop
but
pushing
he
that narrative, man. That man
Buddy
is a
Hill would have
primary
helped
three
that
point
team
shooter.
out. Buddy Hill will probably would have helped this team out this year though.
How would he help this team out? If LeBron James go down, that team is a lottery team.
see, this is a double-edged sword to the situation. This applies not to just LeBron, but any star player. Like the examples you give to him, and you can have you can have star players that have influence on want certain guys on their team and certain things, right? But the double-edged sword is okay. Don't do it if we don't have success. We know where the fingers gonna go. Or do it, we don't have success. We know the fingers could possibly go to the player. But if you're going to pump that out of the organization, that's why I was saying, hitting it. Who like premier super, like the upper echelon elite superstars might turn their head to an organization, even the Lakers organization, if that's of what's to come have become of the Lakers, to where they're willing to point the finger at the superstar when things don't work out. You get what I'm saying?
Nah, that's facts. That's a fact. I don't think LeBron James getting too much blame for this though, man. I think mainly going on Russell Westbrook, and players are looking at it from the Westbrook standpoint as opposed to LeBron's standpoint. Because it's kind of hard to blame LeBron for the season when he's having a historical season at this age at that. So it's hard to blame LeBron James. I mean, we're listening to the guys, the haters, LeBron haters, who saying, "Oh, he's picking these teams like that." That's like few and far in between. It's more people who's praising LeBron James than it is people criticizing LeBron James. But it's more people criticizing Russell Westbrook than it is people praising him. You know what I mean? So I think that's what people are seeing. They're seeing it like, damn, y'all treating a future Hall of Famer who's in a bad position, who had to scale his game back just to fit on his team. Y'all treating him like shit when he's been playing damn near every game this whole season. He's sacrificing everything for the season. Why
Hitman.
would I want to play for a team like that?
I remember. I don't know if you were watching U3 before the NBA season started. And I haven't, be honest with you, I haven't watched a game night in, night out of games. I've been games here and there, like two or three a week or so. But I said this on U3. I said, because J Mac asked me, he said, Sal, what should the Lakers do with Westbrook on the panel? I said he should come off the bench. And most of the people on there, except for Anti, thought I was crazy. They thought I was crazy.
I think you're crazy. Because who you benching? I still think you're crazy. Who are you benching Russell Westbrook for?
No, no. This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but when I watch Westbrook play at this point in his career, he's really a six man. Will he ever take that position to be that? Because if you look, most six man or backup point guards, they normally have a skill set to be a starter, but they don't have the mind to be a starting point guard. And that's one of the things Westbrook don't have.
The time Rondo was there,
That
I
yeah,
would have
on a championship team, he can't be a starting point guard. He just can't.
like maybe like if Rondo was still there, I'd probably start Rondo, play him a couple minutes, and have Westbrook come off the bench.
If if you notice Westbrook, he thrives in situations where the expectations as a whole for the team are a lot lower, and it kind of gives him the autonomy to just go out there and just play. No matter how many turnovers you have, no matter what you do down the stretch, game in game out, we just playing just to be make the playoffs or just to have a fighting chance. But to play on teams, when he had to play on teams, they're like these are contenders. These are at some point it's gonna be a problem because Westbrook his game doesn't complement other great stars the way he plays. That's why it's so frustrating. You've seen him play with Durant, seen him play with Paul George, seen him play with James Harden. We've seen him play with LeBron now. It's just something about his game. It doesn't complement other stars, and he's in his 13th season. He only knows how to play one play. To me, he's not a high IQ guy. You know what I'm saying? Especially down the stretch of games, he just kind of plays off energy. I think he plays off energy, and he just plays with energy. But when you get deep in the playoffs, you got to have guys that smart, smart guys. And I just
I
don't
get the
know.
logic of what you're saying. I get the logic of what you're saying, but overall, like you looking at it from the Lakers standpoint, who are you benching Russell Westbrook for? That's the question.
I'm not saying they have a roster to bench him. I'm not saying that. I was listen to me closely. If I had a championship team and Westbrook was on it, I knew going the season like he can't be my starting point guard because it's gonna be a problem. I'm just telling you this. The only reason I'm telling you this, his man X, because I said this before they even tipped the ball off. And what has been the struggle with Westbrook? Westbrook always been a guy that has high usage and no high usage player, right? Has the ball in his hand. Now you going to having them play one of the greatest players that ever played the game, top five ever. You know what I'm saying? That
This
has
what can I say something real quick?
huh?
I hear what you're saying about Westbrook coming off the bench. I think what they should have did what they did in 2020 season, had LeBron playing point. Then when LeBron got that rest, then have Westbrook coming off the bench.
They roster so shot, man. It's like you got LeBron, a declining Westbrook, and then you got Gingerbread AD, and then you got summer league players, 1 year deals. You got old veterans, then the rest of them like summer league, summer league guys. This
Carmelo Anthony.
and you got Carmelo. Now Carmelo was a bench player for Portland, so he's supposed to come to the Lakers and put them over the top to run for something. That's what's so crazy. Melo has been a bench player for his last 5 6 years, and now said he's playing with LeBron. Now people talking out of their mind. Like I don't get Dwight Howard shell of himself. Like what what really messed.
You wanna know what I miss? I miss that Westbrook who used to who started off playing smart basketball, but for some reason when he got that money, he stopped playing smart basketball.
I just think Westbrook doesn't play that well. He doesn't play that well. He doesn't complement the superstar players, and I knew it. I mean, I knew it was like if AD don't stay healthy, they had no chance. I said that if AD's not gonna stay healthy and not play the five, they had no chance. And we see, I mean, I don't know, is he coming back for the season over? I'm not saying that like that's gonna change a whole bunch of, but I'm just saying, is he coming?
Like are
Yeah,
they are Lakers in 10th place right now, right?
I think so. Yeah,
If I'm AD, I'm just saying I'm done for the season. I'll be back next year.
yeah, because the worst thing AD could do is come back and get hurt again. So that's gonna really like, are you serious? You done came back got hurt again?
Then this off season, he need to work out with LeBron.
He can't. AD can't afford to go out for a long stretch again right now. Y'all agree with that? Whether that's
Yeah,
back,
I
whether that's
agree with that.
this year or start next year and getting hurt for an extended period of time, things gonna really turn on him if he go out anytime soon again for an extended period of time. And that might be something he's thinking about too. You know what I mean?
It's probably the same thing Paul George and Kawhi Leonard thinking about too.
I
Like,
think that situation is different. But what I was gonna say, yeah, it's AD man. He can't he can't afford. Yeah, I think Now I know what I was gonna say, Lou. A lot of the pressure, a lot of the Westbrook was getting a lot more flack to this last time AD got hurt again. Then it started to people were still on Westbrook, but they kind of got off a little bit because it's like, dang, this nigga is hurt again. We going 2 years in. You done all this other stuff in the off season, and now you still getting hurt. Now you got an extended period of time. It's like, can you trust AD to get back to any form of himself? I don't think he'll ever get back to where everybody thought where he was 2 years ago. I don't see it. Do you?
it's like AD keep on having these lower leg injuries. I don't understand why because when I first saw AD back in Kentucky in New Orleans, he used to not get these type of injuries. And for some reason, he got to the Lakers. He started getting these injuries. That's why I said all season workout with LeBron. Whatever his workout resume is, you need to fire your trainer and work out with LeBron and get your body more stronger. I think AD can still be one of the best big men in the league, but right now, if they do trade him to Minnesota with Carl Anthony Towns.
I don't think what you think? Why would Minnesota do that?
I don't know, but I've been saying for the last couple of years, Lakers should get a Carl Anthony Towns. Carl Anthony Towns is probably the better player than AD right now because you see his game.
Yeah, there was some questions about him, but for a minute. But why would Minnesota do that to get AD who have proved he can stay healthy these last 2 years?
Because they probably in Minnesota's mind they probably think they can he's a 10 times better player than Carl Anthony Towns. Because people still think that way.
I
And
mean,
plus, like I said, the Lakers should have got Buddy Hield because because before Wakeford they was going to trade for Buddy Hield and DeMar DeRozan because he was ready to sign with the Lakers before he signed with the Bulls. Now, if you would have had those two with LeBron, with AD, does Anthony Davis still get hurt? And if he does, you still got DeMar DeRozan going out there putting up buckets, and you still got Buddy Hield knocking down 3-point shots. And LeBron don't got to go out there and put up 40 to 50 points a game.
yeah, really not really being talked about, Lou, is I feel like they done a bait and switch with LeBron when he got there. You get what I'm saying? They used Magic to help recruit him, just to see if that could help seal the deal of him coming. And once the Magic sealed the deal, then they started to. They didn't tell Magic he had to leave, but they started doing all the things to make him want to leave. You get what I'm saying? That year that LeBron was there, that first year, until he finally resigned at the end of the season, which a lot of people say was that toward the middle of the season or toward the 3 quarters of the season. That first season LeBron was there, and I want to say him and LeBron are they not on the best. They not on the best. What's the term you use?
Best of terms.
Yeah, I don't know if they on the best of terms right now. I don't know if he talked to him at the All Star game because you seen him talk to Jordan. I don't remember him talking to Magic. Now I could be wrong. Still, I don't know, but I
When
think
you
they
got Magic out here saying that the Brooklyn Nets is going to be a championship team this year, that's a problem.
because see if you notice the past 2 years, what has Magic done? A lot of personnel situations transpired. He let it known in the media subliminally that he would have never made them. You remember last year, Schroeder? He said Schroeder's not a Laker. What was he telling you? He would have never had Schroeder on his roster.
Yeah, that was a dumb move they made right there. Like, why would you sign him to a deal and y'all would and
Um,
they about ready to give him like what $74 million to come back?
yeah, and that's why Magic done what he done. He said Schroeder's not a Laker. He letting you know he would have never had Schroeder on this roster. What did he do? What has he been doing this year? He's been saying it, but he really wouldn't. Westbrook wouldn't have been on this team if it was up to Magic either. You know what I mean? So a lot of stuff you use Magic to help sell LeBron coming to the Lakers, and then you
I
kind
was like Jenny Bucks put herself in this position too.
of yeah.
Like she didn't trust like she trusted Rob. She trusted that dude she was sleeping with more than Magic.
It's a mess going on. Some mess going on. And you can't blame the players. You the final word. You the organization. No matter if you listen to the players or not, you the last word. You sign on who come and who don't come. So you can't use
And
the
if I
cop
don't
out.
know, you've been watching that show, Winning Time with that show Winning Time with the Lakers, but it seems like Magic Johnson is in the right, had been in the right since he first got to the Lakers.
Yeah, that was the bait and switch, man. Y'all locked in LeBron, and then y'all start moving to make way for Palinka. See what I'm saying? Yeah, because you remember Magic had the interview the next year
Really,
about all this stuff.
really, before Kobe died, him and Rob kind of put that team together when they won their championship. Because remember, Kobe had his input on the team, and Kobe and I think he told Rob to get this guy, get that guy to help that team win, and that's what they did, and they won a championship in the bubble. So, what really was really like you got asked, was Kobe really the GM or was it really Rob Pelinka? Because was Rob really taking Kobe advice?
That might be a good thing to discover. But this is the thing. A lot of people, I know a lot of people that hate LeBron definitely don't like Nick Wright, but he made a good point. He said, "How could you bring LeBron into a situation where you had a former player, recent former player, agent turned GM, and not expect him to feel like he can do some of the things that the former players like uh, the former player agents GM doing, being coach. You get what I'm saying? But like
Yeah,
y'all done made a former player GM the coach. Former Kobe's former agent a GM. So why wouldn't I be able to have the input on who the coach is and who the players are on the team? So there's already a disconnect. You gotta look at you said Magic to come recruit me to the Lakers. Granted, look at hindsight, a lot of people say he was going to the Lakers anyway. You see what I'm saying? But
and
nevertheless,
plus you forget how cosmetic and Kobe was. Because remember, they was when Michael Jackson died, they was up there together doing that little speech for Michael Jackson, and plus him and Kobe probably talked during the off season. So Kobe was probably telling him like, "Let's bring LeBron here." Because at the time, the Lakers, nobody didn't know what was going on with the Lakers. Everybody thought the Lakers was about to go away. You had to get those butts in the seats. Like I know some people didn't want LeBron to come to the Lakers, but at that time, they were trying to win. They had no choice but to go out and get LeBron.
yeah, you know, a lot of narratives gonna fly off of people's emotion, and it's like, hey, man, these. I mean, it's just the NBA. You know what I'm saying? The Lakers definitely got to get it together though as an organization. No organization can blame the players. You decide who on the team, whether that player on the team or other players around. You you can decide if some of the inquiries that the player make as far as personnel and other things, if they actually fall through. But you can't make the players the scapegoat because what does that do for you in the future? If you're gonna make former great players the scapegoat, failure, why would other great potential or great players of the future want to come to your organization to be a scapegoat if things go wrong? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know, that's why it was so crazy for the owner of Cleveland to do what he done. Luckily, LeBron was just a guy that went back, but for you to do all that, that was ridiculous. You know what I mean?
like people feel some type of way because LeBron, because they had no businesses around the stadium. and some of the business had to close because LeBron was out.
Yeah.
Like having a superstar like LeBron James made that city a lot of money. It's like,
Thinking you being an athlete, thinking you being an athlete in that position where people want to dictate what you do because that's how they make money, or they feel bad because you made a decision in your own personal life, and now they gotta pivot to do something else, so they hate you for that. That's a lose lose situation. You know what I mean? People won't really understand that unless they in that position. You know what I'm saying?
like look at your Dallas Cowboys. They made that city a lot of money too. But now, like the way they've been playing the last couple of years, it's kind of hurting the Dallas brand.
Yeah, it's a weird thing with Dallas because Dallas has so many freaking fans. It's just ridiculous, man. There's so many Dallas fans. It ain't even funny.
Like remember back in the '90s, Dallas people you want to come to Dallas for vacations and stuff like that because Cowboys were thriving and win Super Bowls. They made it look like Jerry Jones was the smartest man of all time.
Yeah, but Dallas,
Now they use y'all as a joke.
yeah, we like yeah, they do use us like as a meme. They use us as a meme. But Dallas, Dallas. The thing about Dallas, it's hard for Dallas to lose relevancy because it's like Dallas. Though when the merger started. Dallas was pretty much the only team in the South in the early '60s, early late '60s. They were the only team that represented the South. And you gotta remember, most people that live up in the East, the West Coast, the Midwest, East Coast, 50 years replaced from the '60s, they family from the South. So that's why so many Dallas fans, because people second, third generation Dallas Cowboy fans, because their grandma, their mother, you see what I'm saying? They were Cowboy fans. A lot of people understand that. And you gotta remember in the '70s, the Cowboys were good, and then we had what they called them. You had Roger
Yeah,
Staubach.
I don't. Yeah, I remember hearing about the '70s, but I
Yeah,
didn't watch the '70 Cowboys like it.
yep. But you notice the merger started in '68. So once the merger started, Dallas won a Super Bowl, two Super Bowls in the first 7 years of the merger. And you gotta remember they were the only team that really represented the South at that time. That's why so many Dallas fans, because they were the only team that represented the South in the '60s and in the '70s. You had no teams in the South. You know what I'm saying? They started off winning early during the merger in '71, then '74. That's what in the first 6 years of the merger.
The only thing I remember is when I was born in '81, my daddy said the 49ers beat the Cowboys in that great game they had back in 1981 with that made Joe Montana one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL history with that pass to Dwight Clark.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
You gotta admit that one play kind of established his legacy, made him one of the best quarterbacks.
yeah. I mean, Joe Montana got a lot of epic plays in the playoffs. I mean, that's why you know, he number two behind Brady on my list. You might disagree with him. He number two, my list. Quarterbacks all time.
Like Dak is feeling the pressure now because the Cowboys are making moves. It ain't gonna be long for all his weapons are really gone.
Yeah. But the thing about football, man, football, they've been playing Super Bowls for 55 years, 56 years now. Two
Yeah.
teams have two teams tied for five. Me and your team. Nobody's
You
winning.
wait the way you look at the NFC in the NFC right now, and Dak should not have a problem going out there and win 10 to 11 games next season because the NFC quarterback situation is starting to get Look like a joke. Because now the AFC got a lot of great quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happened, man. It'll be very interesting to see what happened.
I'm looking at Washington Cavaliers. Um, what's the
Cavaliers,
Washington?
the command,
What the Commanders? Yeah, the Washington Commanders.
command
The,
scheme.
you got Carson Wentz out there. I think the Redskins got a great defense. It does need a quarterback who can get those balls to those receivers because those receivers ain't no joke in Washington right now. They got no good quarterback. I
Yeah,
look at the Eagles, they rebuilding right now, like the Giants are rebuilding. So Dallas does not have a problem winning that division again next year.
I think we should be able to win our division. We stay up. We definitely. I agree with you. I just don't know if we're gonna be as good of a team as a whole as we were last year. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Because yeah, we should win our division, but what we gonna do outside our division? You know what I mean? We the only team that went undefeated. And I'm saying a lot because our division was terrible.
And everybody kept saying y'all ain't doing nothing but beating on weak teams all last year. Remember, I was the same person saying that y'all beating up on weak teams.
Yeah, for the most part, you could say that. Yeah, for the most part, you could say that. I mean, I think but our problem with us is we were the same team. We were pretty much the same team every week in, week out for the most part. We were a consistent team, but it was things that we do that helps you win the game, like turnovers, scoring a lot of points. But then there was another thing that we done that came to be vital in the playoffs is we led the league in penalties, which that don't help you.
Yeah, you got that right, because y'all had a whole lot of penalties against my 49ers.
If we just cut our penalties in half, we beat you. I know you can agree with that because if we just cut our penalties in half the game.
Y'all couldn't stop Debo. That was,
Offense from offense, both sides of the ball. We had penalties on both sides of the ball, man. Just some of them bonehead, some just. But I knew if we were going to lose in the playoffs, more likely we are going to lose because of penalties. Not really just blaming the whole on the referees. It's hard to win games, you know, with a lot of penalties. Whether they what
I keep saying, y'all better hope y'all get no one seed going in the playoffs. Because that's like every time a team gets no one seed, they end up losing in the playoffs.
now, I mean, for us to be better than we were last year, which would mean we should be more of a playoff contending team than last year. We definitely need to have more depth, especially on our D line and our O line.
Wow, don't get me started on y'all D line, man. Y'all lost. Woo!
Yeah, that's the thing. Like the interior of our D line, like
Jerry Jones man making good draft pick.
I mean, we haven't really done too much of free agency, so I guess we banking on. That's why it's gonna be hard for me to see us being as good as a team as we was last year.
Y'all lost Lydell Collins to the Bengals. Y'all lost Gregory to the Broncos.
Yeah, I wanted Gregory gone. He a bonehead. He
I
just
don't like y'all gonna resign Vander Jack.
Van Der Esch, that we signed it for a 1 year deal, but Van Der Esch started playing good toward the end of the year, but I don't trust Van Der Esch.
I don't even know what happened to him because at one point, he's looking like he's gonna be one of the best linebackers in the league.
His rookie year, he looked like he's gonna be, you know, in the next couple of years, be in the conversation to be the best linebacker where he was playing. And then he had the neck injury, and it's like he turned into Rudy from Notre Dame.
Like y'all got a good outside rusher right now, but how good is he gonna be once he get his money?
Uh, who you talking about?
I think he won the rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year.
Michael Parsons. Now I will say this: Michael Parsons is probably gonna be the best defensive player in the league in a minute, bro. Now that's one, but that dude right there is something different.
Yeah, but you know how players are once they get that money, and
Uh, that dude, you watch it? Have you been watching him? That
we
dude,
get Dallas Cowboy games every Sunday. So
look, that dude is something different. I'm not capping because he. I'm not trying. I'm not capping because I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm telling you,
I've been watching
he
Parsons since college.
yeah, bro, that dude is he is something serious. In a lot of ways, people compare him to LT, and it's hard to get me.
Oh hell no! Don't
Oh no, no, no.
come on.
What do you mean? Come on, you must have been watching it. That dude,
I
he made.
seen LT. I seen what LT done. I seen what LT does to my 49ers. I seen what LT does to every single team. I seen LT take over a game with just one leg.
Look, this dude had 12 sacks, and he probably rushed less than 40% of his snaps. You realize that? Do you realize that? Do I need to say that again?
We're gonna see what he does in the second year.
I need to say that again. I'm not saying he gonna be the next LT, but you know they've been comparing it to. The dude don't even rush every down, and he had 12. Yeah, if he if he would have set out, he might have broke the sack record for rookie. And he's not a full time pass rusher, Lou. And coming out of the draft, they knew he had done some of that, but they didn't know like this dude was his second quarterback, and just off his raw skill, he ain't even got technique yet or none of that. Just off his pure athleticism. No man, I'm just glad for him to be a cowboy. He can, only thing I worry about him is staying healthy. He stay healthy, man. The sky's the limit for be 245 on a 4.3.
Well, y'all better do something soon because y'all window opportunities closing real soon.
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause I look at my Niners, our window opportunity closing too. So we better win a Super Bowl sooner or later.
yeah. Even with all this, y'all done been deep in the playoff Super Bowls and y'all still haven't won one since '94. Damn, y'all just a year behind us on winning.
Yeah, just you gotta see what Trey Lance is gonna do next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's just be interesting to see what Cowboys do. But I can't do a lot of complaining because we're in the better position than a lot of other football teams. You know what I'm saying? Can't. We got a solid quarterback. You know.
Yeah, I'm about to go ahead and end the show, man, because I gotta get this work done. But thanks for coming by, Sal.
All right, Lou.
All right, shout out to Hitman. Y'all go and follow his page. He got great content on his page. Shout out to Phil, Real Fat TV, Dwayne Lawrence, Vaughn, and Polo for also showing up. I want to thank everybody for supporting my lives, my videos, and my page. I want to thank everybody for showing me some love on that Cash App. Every now and then, just like you know, I just use the money from the Cash App to get some food because things are hard out here. But I want to thank everybody for showing me some love. Hit that, but before y'all go, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share my page to everybody else. Other than that, I'll see y'all later. Peace out.